The union representing 600 of these employees here say history could be made in the coming months. The Oscar Mayer Wienermobile was just looking to catch up with Las Vegas this weekend, but what was once cooking underneath it was stolen. Judging by this charred metal, this is the same shopping cart that fire officials said the fire began in before spreading to these circuit boards. And then just shortly after, police said they found a dead woman's body in the wash behind me here. Police say the problem has gotten worse, especially in affluent communities like here in Summerlin. For him and anyone else trying to set up shop near one of those intersections, they're gonna have to stay about 15 feet away. How did that gun get past any safety or security measures to go inside? I'm assuming this doesn't normally look like this.
No.
This multi-generational home is cracking, and not from the 8 children who were raised here.
I may not have $1 million, but I'm still somebody.
Clarissa Lanier and her mother live in Windsor Park, a North Las Vegas neighborhood where street lights are not functional and street cracks are plentiful. Annie L. Walker first moved in 1967, what she calls unofficial segregation at the time.
I just don't think we as a people have been treated fairly, period.
And their story is not unique. This neighborhood was built back in the 60s, later revealed on top of geological faults. And state and federal dollars that would help relocate this community are seemingly missing.
So I'm actually holding the 1998 general obligation bond.
Nevada State Senator Dina Neal referencing millions of dollars allocated to the sinking community in 1999. $14 million in federal funding and a Fannie Mae bond that was supposed to generate $300,000 a year.
You can find that account number in the current budget.
And during a meeting with residents on Wednesday, she says new money to help this community relocate, $37 million, is also difficult to track. This senator unclear how North Las Vegas will pay that restitution, as a U.S. Housing and Urban Development audit of the city has yet to reveal bookkeeping answers.
We're moving forward with the $37 million. This is the additional money that was in the bill that's very important to the key elements of how they maintain themselves after the move.
I just wanted North Las Vegas just to be accountable.
In North Las Vegas, Ryan Matthey, 8 News Now. It's almost an art, getting knocked down and bouncing back.
Youth hockey is their life.
And art Nathan Eamon says his 9 and 11-year-olds learned on the ice without breaking the bank.
Significantly less than what we saw elsewhere, like a tenth maybe.
They play for the Ice Warriors, Gina Youssefzai's pride and joy.
And I remember talking to a parent one day and they were like, well, there's just no way we can afford that gear.
So she went out and found that gear. Donations kept in her garage for families who couldn't afford it. And for about 7 years, the Ice Warriors have called the Fiesta Ice Arena home. But they have new landlords. One she says is pushing her out and helping themselves move in. As the former Fiesta station fell last year, the Vegas Golden Knights joined California developer Agora Realty as the rink's operator in November.
We're here to make sure that the kids continue to play hockey.
This is Darren Elliott, former NHL goaltender, who now gets his paychecks from VGK. He's VP of Hockey Programming and Facility Operations.
We might be able to come up with a resolution before that.
He's also the president of NAHA, or the Nevada Amateur Hockey Association, the governing body for amateur hockey in the state.
They're like an HOA for hockey.
Youssefzai used to be one of 17 voting members under the previous Fiesta Ice operator. Each vote is offered to an ice rink or related organization, and there are only a handful of ice rinks and programs in the valley, most of which are operated by VGK. Elliott, as president, does not get a vote.
Because they hold the most rinks, the majority rinks in this town, it's all of their people, and he controls their paycheck.
So we took most of our banners down.
And now, what little ice time she has left is not enough. She says VGK's programming and facility operator has reduced her weekly allotment.
Our ice time got chopped, and they started bringing in, expanding their junior Knights teams into our building. So while our ice time was suffering, their ice time got added.
You can't even get an hour of ice time now.
No, just an hour.
Carrie Quinney is having a similar problem. She runs Spectrum on Ice, a nonprofit for children with autism and other developmental abilities. They used to skate at the Fiesta Ice Arena.
Nobody would return any of my emails. Nobody would return a call. Somebody needs to do this for these kids. You can't just not give them ice. You just can't do that. It's not right.
Yes, you can create new teams under one association, but that's one association that's controlling everything.
Now, the clock is ticking for Yousafzai. She was offered a VGK contract, phasing her out of the Fiesta Ice Arena in the next 8 years. She says it was between that and ceasing operations now.
Let's put our egos in our back pocket, let's check them at the door, and let's do what's right for the kids and the families.
It's really putting the parents in a pickle.
Now, families like the Emans are scrambling to figure out what's next.
We were sold a bill of goods when the Golden Knights came in. They're going to develop youth hockey. What they didn't say, I guess, is they want to develop it only under their brand.
The San Bernardino Mountains covered in unprecedented amounts of snow. Some areas seen over 12 feet due to back-to-back storms since February. For weeks, this has been a common sight. Walls of snow piled high, preventing at one point anybody from coming in or getting out.
They haven't seen a storm like this in over 40 years.
In Crestline, nearly 800 firefighters, police, and equipment operators are helping to get them out.
We just got to a home today where these people were dug out after 18 days.
The collecting snow's weight crushing the roof of this town's primary grocery store.
I don't even have words to describe.
And the roofs of those who live here. This is Ginger Abad and Rick Goodrich's collapsed patio roof.
It's going to be a while till we can get it fixed because, even if we get straightened out with insurance, there's no way to get a contractor now.
They join hundreds who have been stuck up here for days and are now seeing some relief as the snow begins to melt. But all that water has to go somewhere. And the question is, where?
It'll run along the west side of that.
Jonathan Newby is a field office chief for the United States Geological Survey.
Warm weather would melt it, right? And warm rain would melt it too. Warm rain would just melt it a lot faster.
He's referring to this past weekend's warm rain event and more anticipated Tuesday. Without it, he says a complete melt could take up to a month, slowly draining through a system of natural courses above and below the ground. On the north slopes, it goes into the Mojave River, but the vast amounts of snow leaves the possibility of it reaching Barstow. If intense enough, it could go even farther to the dry Soda Lake by Baker.
He says that's possible due to drought-stricken California land. We are 70 miles outside of Crestline here in Barstow, and the Mojave River here, dry as a bone.
Leaving flooding concerns for San Bernardino County Public Works Director Brendan Riggs.
Snow absorbs the rain. It can become heavy and take debris down with it too. So that can involve us cleaning up rocks and debris in addition to the snow.